As the election approaches, well, the election has already started. Millions of people have already voted. But what is your message to Toledoans?
My message would be to make sure that you exercise your right to vote. Right now, early voting is going on, and I would recommend that you early vote to make sure that your vote is in and is counted. If you would also like to do the absentee, that you can, and be sure to take it down to one government center on Jackson Street and put it in the absentee ballot box versus putting it in the mail. It's important that we get out and vote.
You already early voted. What issues and what people did you vote for?
Oh, my secret, my voting, my secret. Issues. Well, there were only 3 issues: the income tax renewal to 3/4%, the other income tax city, and the metro parks. Yes, because we want to support our metro parks so that not only our children will have a safe place to play, but also those of us that like to walk in the park. And we love our metro parks. They're a big part of the city growth. And when people come to the city, a lot of times you like to go to see what the parks offer. And then Lucas County Children's Service Board, I believe, had their issue on the ballot. And yes, I support Lucas County Children's Services. Other than that, okay, Biden. Biden and my girl, Miss Harris, the first African American woman vice president. Yes, I support them both. I also support Judge Duhart, Judge Puffenberger, who appointed me to city council. So yes, I support him also. My own sister, Paula Hicks Hudson, Marcy Captor. You got me calling off the ballot. I'm trying to remember. Earl Mack for sheriff. Earl Mack for sheriff. Yes. Looking forward to him representing Lucas County as the new sheriff. I'm speaking that into existence, the new sheriff. Okay, go someplace else for me, Jeffrey, because you Jaden, I'm sorry, Jaden. My brain is trying to go back there to the ballot.
As a new member of Toledo City Council, what do you hope to bring to the table?
Since you just said that, Katie Moline, who is running for at-large city council. See, it's coming back to me now. Yes, Katie Moline, who sits on city council with me right now. Yes, I did vote for Katie Moline. Freshness, a new, fresh ideas, different perspective. I too, born and raised in the city of Toledo, looking to engage my young people like you. And I am very impressed with you, Mr. Jefferson. I bring energy. I bring a different look to city council, I do believe. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know that it's going to be difficult. There are going to be some difficult decisions that are going to have to be made. And I represent the citizens of Lucas County and Toledo. And that's my goal, to represent them and to be a voice for them. So I want to get out and listen to the people and hear their concerns, hear their issues, and then take that back to city council. I'm a part of a team, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm a part of a team of 12. We work together to make things better for our constituents. I'm a team player.
What do you feel needs to change within the city, and where do you plan to start?
My start is learning how city council operates. The procedures and the process of learning, getting the information and the different things that go on. City of Toledo is complicated. And for those that just think we go into a meeting and we vote, it's not like that. There's several committees, there's several different organizations within the organization. And so it takes time. And I've been on city council since September 29th, I do believe. And just in the few council meetings that I have been in where I have had to vote, it's a lot, because I have to think not just of me and how I would vote. I have to think what's best for the city of Toledo and for the citizens of Toledo, because I'm at large. District council people have just their district. I have everybody, so it's a bigger piece of the pie. So I've got to learn the process. I've got to learn the operation. I have to learn how to engage and have those conversations, not just with my council members, but with the mayor and the city directors, the fire chief, the police chief. Oh my, and it goes on and on and on. So I'm meeting those people. I'm sitting down, I'm talking with them. And right now I'm learning, but as I'm learning, I'm also having to vote and make decisions.
Gun violence involving the city's youth has increased during the pandemic. Where do you see the need, if at all, to make changes to the way the city responds to crime involving guns?
We have to respond. And that is one of the issues that I want to take on. When I had my first interview, I said that was number one, and it still is, because even within the last 2-3 weeks, we've had gun violence in the city of Toledo. I'm more concerned, like you said, with the young people that are losing their lives and the gun violence, whether it's I don't want to say random shooting, but shootings just driving up and down the street. The shootings that occurred at Swain Field, the shootings on Brown Street, on Pinewood. That is a concern, because young people are a concern to me, and young people are dear to my heart. I work in a high school. I've worked with kids most of my life. So I met briefly with Chief Crawl. We didn't get in depth because there, at that time that we met, was something that happened, and so he had to go out on a call. And so I'm hoping to get back with him and see what can we do. We have to have the conversation, not just with the chief, but with the mayor and with those that are in other leadership positions around the city, because it is crucial, because we are losing our young people to gun violence. And the question is, where are the guns coming from? These are the questions that we need to ask. Where are the guns coming from, and why now? Even though we're in a pandemic and people are stressed out and there's hunger, there's homelessness, there's strife, people are depressed, people are losing their jobs. students are at home and they're driving their parents crazy, but still, when it comes to losing lives of young African American men, we've got to say, whoa, what's happening? What do we need to do? And that conversation has to begin with the young people, because they can tell us what's really going on. But larger than that, when they tell us, we have to be intuitive enough to understand that it's not going to just disappear in a goal of 3 months or 4 months. But we have to be intentional enough that when they tell us what's going on, that we engage them on a regular basis and get them to buy into whatever the solution is as to how we can decrease this killing in our city. And it's not just in Toledo, it's all over.
What do you think needs to happen in city council in order to help small businesses thrive following pandemic shutdowns?
Wow, Mr. Jaden, if I had that answer, I could probably make $1 million right now. Small businesses, all businesses were hit hard with this pandemic, but small businesses more so, because they only house or they only employ few people, and then they only reach a small group of people. So how we help them right now, I can't even tell you. To be honest, I can't tell you, because I try to support the small businesses. I'm loving to seeing the what are they called? The tents out in the community, the pop-up tents where small businesses are pulling together and having their little sales on Saturdays and Sundays. Powerful, because a lot of the businesses I didn't even know were businesses. And so to support them, that's my piece of the pie. It's a small piece, but also to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. Small business like the Baby Diva, Unique Johnson, small businesses with the jewelry, small businesses in the food trucks and the homemade foods that people are selling. Those are some of the things that are going on right now.
I do quickly want to refer back to what you said about shootings involving the city's youth. As you were delivering your answer on small businesses, I received a news alert about a 14-year-old boy that was shot and killed. So it
Oh,
really is an issue in the city. I think it's important also to really, show the viewers just how bad of a problem it is in the city. Recently,
yes.
council passed a lead ordinance in order to protect the health of families. Where do you see the benefits of that ordinance?
In those places where we have parents with children in old apartment buildings that we know are lead based. The one reason why I supported it, because they are going to be grants and funds to assist landlords to make sure that their buildings be brought up to par and to clear out the lead, because as you know, lead in children bring on mental disabilities, learning disabilities. And so it is important that we have safe homes for our children and our adults also, and our seniors. Lead-based homes have been a problem for a while. So I am glad that this has come to fruition and that we will begin to address it more aggressively. And they're putting funds behind it to make sure that it can happen. It's one thing to pass a bill or to put money behind it to make sure that it's getting done.
Over the summer, activists raised concerns about police reform and the way police treat specifically Black people. Do you see the need for council to pass more legislation that deals with police reform, or do you think that we need to make it clear to Toledo police that the legislation that was already passed should be upheld by officers?
I believe that the legislation that has been passed needs to be upheld and enforced. And that was one of the conversations that I did have with Chief Crawl. I believe that police reform and training is necessary. I do not believe that defunding the police is a good idea. It is not a help to the situation. It is not a positive. There are other ways that we can do this, and working together, not just having discussion, but also working with positive ideas. And I know that we can do it. Toledo has endless possibilities. We can work through any of the challenges that we are faced with today. I believe that with God's help, all things are possible. Nothing is impossible.
Toledo City Council Member at Large, Cerssandra McPherson, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaden Jefferson.